I think that the partial release of the Epstein files will have a negative impact on Trump. This story is continuing to go on, and he's continuing to alienate his former allies in the party that he's been relying upon in Congress. And so by failing to actually do a full disclosure of the Epstein files, this story is just going to continue to drag on. And what we're going to continue to see is more and more congressional Republicans separating themselves from Trump and kind of thinking more about what they need to do to get reelected in the next fall, because it's very clear that Donald Trump is unpopular. This is even more unpopular than that. And now members of Congress are realizing that their electoral success does not hinge on protecting Trump. Yeah, this was eminently predictable. The idea is that there are a lot of other people that are in the Epstein files. A lot of, again, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Michael Jackson, former Prince Andrew, all of those folks we knew about being friends with Epstein, but only releasing those and not releasing anything that makes Trump look bad at all is an attempt to distract the narrative, to move the narrative away from Trump to all of these other folks. And I think it's a miscalculation because the Democrats don't care about Bill Clinton. I think a lot of the Democrats were tired of the Clintons, and so this is not taking down some sort of sacred totem for them. There's no way to look at this in a way that suggests that the Department of Justice is fully complying with the law, which is an ironic statement to make. And members of Congress themselves have said this as much, right? And it's not just the Democrats; it is people like Rand Paul and Marjorie Taylor Greene as well. And so I don't think I wouldn't expect to see articles of impeachment against Pam Bondi come anytime soon. I think that's a bit dramatic, but this is continuing to cast the DOJ in a really negative light, and it's going to attract more and more scrutiny from Congress, and from both the Democrats and Republicans. Everybody who's been clamoring for the release of these files, they want to protect the victims. And to protect the victims requires redaction. There's absolutely no way around that. On the other hand, it's certainly very easy, it's very convenient to use redaction beyond just protecting the victims, but to also protect other people, and people like Donald Trump, for example. And so I think that it's going to be hard to kind of see how the public responds to this because as they kind of have to balance both of those things simultaneously. I do think that the more heavily redacted something is, I think the more ire it's going to attract and the more attention it's going to draw. And so,
If I could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking.
the simplest answer is that this is going to depress turnout from the Republican base. I don't think that means that a lot of those people who had traditionally been voting for Republicans are now going to vote for a Democrat. I don't think that that's likely at all. But I think it's going to have turnout effects both in two ways. One is it will continue to animate the Democratic candidates and their supporters, but then it will also depress the turnout for Republican candidates.